big pleasure for us to run this last day of marathon, because today it's really 11th day of the marathon, and we really appreciate for all of you who were with us during these 2 weeks, I think. So let's have this final event. Let us introduce ourselves. So I'm Kate. I'm together with Anna, we are working in IT software company in Lviv, but we are a Dutch-based company, but our delivery center is, one of the delivery centers is in Lviv. So I'm working as a head of design, and we have very close collaboration with Anna, because the philosophy of our company that we are trying to do for our employees the best, and I'm taking care about people, about team of 10 people, so it's really important for me to have HR, and we have really close collaboration. Also, as Oleg mentioned, I'm co-founder of Service Design Network Ukraine, and also I'm Service Design Certified Trainer. Anna?
Thanks, and we are really happy to share today with you our experience and how we are using service design in our practice in HR. So today we will share with you a few cases from current company and from others. So let's start.
Let's start. Give me 30 seconds for presentation. Okay. So, very popular questions on webinar. Can you see our screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. One more important question. Is it right screen, not presenter notes?
No, it's the right one.
Perfect. First task is done. So, employees, are they resources or human beings? Actually, this topic is really practical and very critical for IT companies, because as you know, when we have this outstaff or outsource, so it's really important to build the right relationships with the employees, to build the right well-being and self-recognition inside of the company.
So often companies are facing an issue that something stopped working and wondering what happened. What is going wrong? The answer is simple. The society and people are constantly changing. And moreover, the rapid evolution of digital technologies and its impact on consumer experiences have given consumer increasingly seamless interactions with every touch point with any brand. And they have provided opportunity for highly personalized and customized products and services. Even more, they have changed the traditional one-directional communication flow, brand to consumer, opening a real ongoing conversation, consumer to brand. And inspired and empowered by this shift in the consumer world, some forward-thinking companies are also applying the same customer-centric approach to the employee environment and employee services. And the organization starts redesigning employee experiences using customer journey mapping, prototyping, using user experience research, and leveraging new user-centered, mobile-friendly, and often cloud-based technologies. So, and here is my favorite phrase that I really like, that you don't build business, you build people, and then people build business. So successful companies who really believe in people and understand that people are the drivers of business ask employees what matter them, what are their needs, and what are important for them. It's true, to be honest, it's all about business at the end, but business is built by people. And it's all about mindset that drives companies to success.
And as you know, when we are starting to speak about customer-centered mindset or about people-oriented mindset, of course, we recognize the service design methodology, and this is actually how we work with well-known double diamond. So why to not apply it to any process? Why not apply it to HR process? Why not apply it to discovery? So this is like our philosophy to use this well-known double diamond from discovery to define, development, deliver. And in case with HR department, and the end we had the service concept, actually a few service concepts to be tested. We tested them, and then we ran the pilot project. So from the interview to the service concept, through all these necessary activities. And what was the challenge actually in this HR practice, it was that when you have the interview with employees, they really expect, because you are well known by them, they know where you are sitting, where is your working place, they know your responsibility and your role. And when you have the interview with them, they expect that you will fix something. So you have no chance to not fix it. And this is the reason. And actually, when you see them whom you interview, they always ask, what is the status of the project? Okay, when it will be improved? Okay. So you have no chance to just to remove this project from your backlog.
And on the other side, managers who are involved into service design, they are thinking that they know best what employees needs and what employees are actually thinking.
Yeah. So
that's why, as we understand that employee journey is really a valuable source and needed, we started using service design in our HR practice and pay more attention to employee journey. As there are different aspects of employee experience, and any journey usually begins long before departure. It involves many actors, each responsible for a part of a journey. How and what employee experience depends on a communication strategy and its execution, on employer branding strategy, there's HR service process and technology, high-touch support offered, and how employees are being engaged. Thus, we were looking at HR processes and redesigning it to make some kind of improvement. Thus, we would like to tell more about one case from one big IT company. The project that we were looking, it was how we could improve global HR processes and ensure the company scale. As employees, through our working lives, we all interact directly and indirectly with people like HR, managers, co-workers, customers, and systems, including processes, intranets, and various technologies. We all used to look at numbers while we are doing investigation of some processes, but behind the numbers are the story. Thus, we wanted to understand the whole journey and how each puzzle of that journey may affect each other. Are there any hidden milestones? We have we looked at exit data and found some area for improvement here. And as a result, we were started investigating and building employee journey within onboarding project. And in the process, we engaged like focus groups. We were doing few surveys, interviews with stakeholders, we were doing quantitative research, building personas, and at the end, creating new processes, program communities. So as you may see, lots of stakeholders were involved in interviews. We have interviewed stakeholders from all the departments who were involved in the onboarding process and gathered their needs and pain points. So just imagine how many of them were. In our focus group, we engaged 630 employees. It was only newcomers, and newcomers from 6 countries actually, and we interviewed people from 13 departments, and did additional 43 interviews with newcomers who were working in the company for 3-4 months already. And working across the HR team and employees from across the company resulted in gathering the essential insights and drawing up an employee journey map. Employee journey highlighted for us few moments. For example, that the process is too long and we are spending a lot of time on onboarding, that many paper documents need to sign on day first. No one needs a new employee in the office. And in general, as each process is not described, controlled, and monitored, and it's archaic. So in described, we found that there is no single place that describes the employee onboarding journey from the first contact till the trial period closure. The system of HRM, each human resource management system process exists and is described, but it is only the part of the bigger process and might be complicated. Why? As this process is not controlled, because it's not described, as process is not described, responsibility is not assigned for each stage and overall. Process differs from location to location. It's not monitored, as there are no measures and baseline to track the new employee satisfaction on a regular basis. All stakeholders' involvement is not monitored. And the process is archaic. So a lot of manual and paperwork, email, duplications of info, and so on. So the hiring request quality influences also on workplace readiness as well. And that's how our employee journey looked like. We described like a few stages of onboarding process, like the stage of hire process, how it was looking like, and it was also split it into higher stage, day -1, and then the other stage was day 1, and further it was like the first 3 months of work in the company and closure of trial period. So a few insights that we found. For people, it's important to do a meaningful job at the end. And actually people want to be available and feel personal significance. We found that there is an area for us as a company to increase sense of belonging to the company, because people were thinking that they are working on a separate project and not belong to the company. Also, the things that were perceived as a company benefits surprisingly occurred not the one that people really valued. And new employees don't understand actually opportunities for them in the company. To sum up all of that insights, we came up with few concepts to get a new employee acclimated to the company culture quickly. And just for us, it was clear, when services are organized around employees' needs, we have a significant increase in employee engagement, satisfaction, and productivity at the end. So we have come up with few concepts. The first was like to build an exceptional positive experience for an employee. And here we developed and created few videos from C-level management for newcomers before joining the company. It was video greetings from CEO of the company. The other concept was to start introducing engaging employee to a company culture values, and it meant to be done also till the moment of start working in the company. So we did a personalized onboarding pages with useful contacts, with team composition, with personalized welcome message from direct manager and other useful information. And all of that information was done in our human resource management system that employees not starting working in the company already had an access to the system and could start interacting with the system. And also we added gamification here. So like important policies, mandatory tasks that were were redesigned into simpler and funny way. And the third concept was to foster a positive experience for new employee and to make an outstanding impression of being welcome and valued. As you know, mostly people feel uncomfortable and alone during first working days. Thus, we created an idea about buddy program as a personal touch for each newcomer. We piloted this program in one location in Kyiv, and it went so well that directors from other locations started approaching us and asking to launch this program in their location as quickly as we can. And actually, the buddy is a person from other project who wants just to help a new person to socialize in the company. So at the end, what the results were, the company metrics like turnover and engagement were improved at around 50%. However, it was already in a good level, but still we could to do some kind of improvements here as well. Also, we found and managed to do a significant increase in productivity from first working day as well. It was surprisingly for us to have self-driven communities because Buddy started creating their own community, and that made a new positive wave in the company. And after that, more people were signing the application to become a mentor in the company. Some new programs were created. And as a result of that process redesign, we also changed a benefits program in the system. So we added those tangible and intangible things that people really valued, and just removed the ones that no one cares.
Yes, actually it is the end of the case too. So now it's perfect time for Q&A session if needed.
I have to unmute myself. While people are preparing their questions, I have a couple from my side, and I would start with a provocative one. I believe that when you implement some changes, there is always a skeptic or several skeptics. Who they were and what helped you to convince them?
Thanks, Alex. So skepticism is the #1 when you're doing change management. Actually, no one believed that, for example, a buddy program will work. So only 2 people believe that without any kind of bonuses, compensations, and so on and so forth, we can launch the program. But we did it. And most people who were skeptical, actually, it were managers who didn't believe that we can change anything. It's not C-level managers, but I will say like middle-level managers.
And how did you manage to convince them to implement the system if they didn't believe in it?
It's, you know, step by step, doing a lot of communications. And then more interesting was when you're engaging people into your work and doing the concept all together, so they're inspired.
Okay, then another question. You mentioned that you did interviews with the customers, with the employees, and with the stakeholders. But stakeholders, they are also employees in the end. How did you manage this, like 2 hats on your respondent?
It was like we separated because there at the end we had like onboarding divided into different roles. So for example, in case it's onboarding for employees like developers, engineers, and the stakeholder is in a role of a manager or a competence manager and so on. So these people then we doing and taking different roles in this process, we are considered as stakeholder. In case stakeholder is becoming just not a contributor, but a participant of the process. So it's becoming an employee.
Okay. Super. Did you get any extremely surprising results or insights?
Yes, actually, we were thinking as usual. There were assumptions that like people value lots of training programs inside the company, and that people value lots of benefits. But that was surprisingly for us that people really want to not just do interesting projects, but they want to do those projects that are valuable for the society, for other people. So they want, it's a higher level of motivation of people. They want to be personal significant in everything they do. So it was surprising for us. And also the other thing that really surprised us, that people want also to be engaged into different redesign of processes or company improvements. They want to be a part of that changes.
Super, thank you. There was another, how much time did you invest in implementing changes, and how soon did you get the results? Because results are impressive.
It differs because we were doing like step-by-step changes. For example, implementation of budget program just took us 3 months. So we were piloting during 3 months, and we understand, yes. The process of investigation employee journey took us 2 months because we were doing surveys all the time and gathering data. So,
okay, thank you. There is a good question from Giovanna. How did you measure the engagement, satisfaction, and productivity? Because those are, especially the productivity, is difficult to measure. What were the KPIs or the measurements?
Productivity is a super question. Thank you, Anna. So actually for ENPS, we had a survey that is measuring employee satisfaction. And this survey is created in a way of, we have a lot of, not lots of, but few drivers. At each driver, there are responsible questions. So, and based on that results, we will see the NPS of people. About productivity, it's a custom approach that we wrote an algorithm, actually, how to measure productivity inside the company. So we were investigated inside the company what things influences on productivity, and based on that, we were writing an algorithm that then showed us how much the person is productive or not, and what actually influences on productivity as well.
Super. So basically, I mean, if I'm a developer, you would measure like a number of lines of code or what?
Lines of code, no, but your results actually at the end, because no one is interested how long you are working on it or how many you are working, but actually what kind of results you will achieve at the end, and whether these results are qualitative.
Super. I don't think we have enough time now to go deeper, but this is a very interesting topic. It's less about service design, more about HR, but it's an interesting one. And the last one, did you think that focus groups were good for getting insights? Because, well, many people, including me, believe that interviews usually give more valuable insights than the focus groups.
Yes, but what we did, our focus group were very different. So the main aspects for us to create focus groups were like to include diversity and inclusiveness here. And to include people from different levels, from different career directions, from different locations, different seniority. So it was very different group, and that's why we've managed, as I will say, that our focus group included everyone in the company, like they were representative of every department.
Okay, thank you. What would you improve in the case? I mean, now if you do it again, what would you do differently?
Good question. Good question. Thanks. As a fan of data, I will say that I need more data to investigate.
Okay, thank you. I believe we can move to the second case.
Okay.
What is it about?
This case, actually, our second case, it's about the creation of new company branding and website using EVP. EVP, it is employee value proposition, refers to the rewards and benefits received by employees in return for their performance at the workplace. But I would like to provide some background because actually in terms of branding, we did a lot of things because we had this huge challenge to make a rebranding. And probably someone also met this challenge because when you have rebranding, like you don't see the ages where it will stop, because you have to recreate everything, even for example some elements in the space, because to create the brand through as a big company, we have different channels of this brand awareness. Yeah, so it's social media, websites, different like packaging, branding, and all these things. So when you got this challenge, you understand that, okay, it might take 1 year or even more. And it was true, actually. And in terms of this rebranding, we also touch a lot of elements branding related. Let's say we also touched a loyalty program, but I will not speak about this case on this webinar because it's also like separate case. We touched all aspects, and as a result, so actually when you're working on branding in a different channels, in a different parts of this brand, so sometimes research done in one sub-project, let's call it like that, will affect your results in the second sub-project. So it's like all accumulated to the one goal. Okay, less lyric, let's come back to the case. So challenge, as I mentioned, so we at that moment we had 10 years old, 10 years anniversary, and company were growing during all this 10 years, and we had a lot of elements added to the brand. So it was like a brand growing, and the age, and we got a new ages of this brand, and it was actually not so consistent as it should be for the brand. So our challenge was actually to understand what is our brand about now, who we are now. And in terms of employee branding, we what we did actually, so of course we decided, okay, we are the company. Company, it's not a company like a building, it's an employee, first of all, so it's human. Okay, so let's run focus groups, interviews, and as many research as we can, qualitative, quantitative. Let's ask our people who we are. Let them tell us who we are. And based on that, let's create this new branding. It also we had a challenge because we have one brand family of 2 different branding sides, like B2B branding and employee branding. Okay, so for design team, it was a challenge. Okay, let's combine this idea. So let's turn our branding in the one light, in the one way for the B2B market, and let's turn it in another way for the employees. But it should be consistent. Okay, so and then after, when we had a completed branding, we have to work with our website for the employees because it's one of touch point of our employees. Okay, and so at that moment, let's review our personas, let's fix them, and let's proceed with the proper employee value proposition on our website, and actually not only on the website, on all our channels where we attract our current employees and potential employees. Okay, let's start from the focus groups. So the goal was actually to understand who we are, and at that moment we had 3 different locations. So we ran the focus group in all our locations, and we had in total 9 groups, and with mixed gender, with mixed seniority level, like also as if in the first case it was really a diverse group, and we have in total 75 people. And what we did, so the methodology chosen, it was visuals and words to create a consistent image for our company. And our respondents are instructed to choose visuals and words that reflect the sense of the company for them. And actually insights, so what we got in the end. So this was the picture of the brand with the words. So it was the warm, open, welcoming culture, striving and supportive, freedom of expression, creative ideas, working and socializing together. Culture, open, welcoming, freedom to be honest, freedom of expression, striving, creativity, following your ideas, collaboration with clients and teams, music as coding, and aspirations like career support, creative pride. And actually now I would like to, when we did, so it was our first outcome of the branding, let's say mood board. So then design team proceeded with some kind of promo video. So we already had some elements defined. We already have some language, some brand ages defined, and the design team tried to create a video to show this like essence of the brand. And I would like you to show it now. Okay, let's go. So this was a result of the branding of the initials of the focus groups and of the brand, actually the building the new brand for the employees. Actually, this is how we split it, all this branding on a different channels, let's say. So this is the packaging, this is some kind of supportive materials for the conferences, for hiring events, all this eco bags, etc., etc. So actually we have a lot of like thousands of that, and it is consistent. And also this, like we created our social media channels visuals for employees potential and existing one, how to to find the proper visuals, how to show our culture through all our visual content. And actually, as I mentioned, we have B2B branding and employee branding, and here you can see the difference. So for B2B, we have like main sense, main copy line, like write code like in music, like that there are people behind the coding. So like it's about orchestration, that how we deliver our project. That so it's like something similar how orchestra does. And on the right you can see employee branding. So it's more about culture. It's more about this flexibility, agility, drive, energy, cool of being together. So, and as a result of implementation, what we got: highest response by potential candidates on LinkedIn, increased awareness at recent conferences in Lviv, Ukraine. And this branding video, which I shown to you, it was viewed by 53,000 of people in 1 month. Okay, this was the end of the rebranding, and then we started but the project of employee branding is not finished at that moment. So next step was to create this actually website with employee value proposition. And what this phase was started from reviewing our personas. Of course, during the whole process, we know our personas, but at this moment we decided let's review it. And for AVP, it's really important to have it really proper written with all motivations, pains, gains, and expectations. And actually we had 6 of them. So first, and this persona actually let's say common for us. So I think 80% or 60% of our employee actually is a persona 1. It's middle or senior developer without management ambitions. He is motivated by challenge, by challenge. He has a family. He wants stability, good package, challenging work. He appreciates our company for the open, free, welcoming spirit within the culture of agility, teamwork, and flexibility. And as a brand, as a company, what we offer for this person. So we provide a sustainable company and challenging work within a unique culture of freedom, of spirit, agility, and flexibility. And this allows them to work and to grow in a creative, supportive, agile environment. Second persona, pretty similar, but this persona, only one difference, this persona has management ambitions. So he motivated by challenge, hard work, career growth, and competitive leading toward management roles. So for this person, we offer same as for persona number 1, plus opportunity to expand knowledge, experience, and a reasonable path to the management. Our third persona also pretty similar. He has no management, he's pretty similar with persona number 1. He has no management ambitions, but he is actually highly tech-centric person. So what he wants, so they're single-focused, independent, and curious. They are likely to investigate and understand advanced technology practices. And because they have no management ambitions, which to them are diversions from their primary interests. So what we offer to this person actually, so we, like our AVP is like sending this type of people to important industry events, encouraging them to attend webinars by IBM Global and other giants in the field, and assigning them to the client with issues with biggest technical demands. Our persona number 4, it's a woman. So this persona, like woman without children, she wants equal opportunity, appreciate benefits for women. She is very active, and for her work it's like a second home. She is motivated by career growth, company culture, flexibility, and equal opportunity. She is professional, ambitious, and loyal team player. She appreciates benefits and special interest to the woman. And what we offer for her, so we provide equal opportunities in a flexible, empathic culture with benefits of special interest to the woman. And we support her professional aspirations and growth opportunities. Persona number 5, also a woman, but with a difference. She has the children. So she also, what she wants more, actually, she would like to have the career growth, company culture, flexibility, but she's really interested in work-life balance and flexible hours. So what we offer for her, actually, that we as a company, as a brand, we share this value of work-life balance. We don't want you to live at work all time. So work-life balance is perfect. And of course, we will provide flexible hours, because we understand how important it is to have this work-life balance, and how important it is actually have a families and to keep all these things together. And our last persona, persona number 6, it's actually junior developers. What is the most important for them. So juniors seek their first job in IT and are energetic and hopeful for the future. They want chance to learn from more senior people, upskilling in different areas, travel opportunities, to meet clients in person, gain the experience in real world environment. And also for this type of persona, benefits are very important. And social engagement. So what we can offer for this person, actually we provide a place for entry-level people to learn skills, to learn agile, to meet clients, to travel within the culture and flexibility, freedom, and with the friendly embrace and social interaction. So, and when we did all this work, we understand for whom we are designing. So it's our current employees and potential one employees, because we already have like our employees like this. And also at that moment, we were doing our new career website. So all these expectations, pains, jobs, motivations were included into website. And why employee value proposition so cool and so useful, because like it's integrated into all what we have, like it's integrated to all content what we have on our website, to all our text, to website structure, to prioritization of what we can see on the website, to the images, to all like let's say pixels on the website. And now I would like to show you this website. So this is our website. What we have here, of course, this is our main slogan, copy line. Then we have this career opportunities, and then later we will review the difference. We will show you how it works for the different personas. Of course, we have projects, because it's interested for everyone to have interesting, challengeable projects. So now we have a list of them, and we have a blog to show what we are doing actually, how serious we are, how cool we are actually. And let's go to the vacancy. Join us. Let's start from the React developer. So this is persona number 1. So this guy is interested in a challenging projects, but he is not have so much ambitions to the management. So we integrated all these insights to the content. So what we offer, structure, requirements, responsibilities. Could you, maybe you can add something if I missed, I hope not, but just in case.
So every other findings about employee value propositions are actually as a silver line suit in the content of vacancies. So each vacancy is for a specific persona, and based on that findings in employee value proposition, we are creating the content, the structure of our vacancies based on that.
Yeah, and now let's go to the vacancy for persona with management ambition. As you see, it's different structure. So with here we have more about project description. So we show this possibility, this opportunity of growth, what we expect, nice to have, responsibles we offer. Yeah, that's it. Also, because for some of our personas, the benefits, like corporate benefits, are important. So it's also included here. So it's a mix for all 6 personas actually, in some kind of prioritization. Here again, we show our culture, like you can see it in our pictures that we are friendly, open in Dutch. It was very important to show that we have training opportunities, work and life balance. So all these things. So these benefits are pretty, it's a combination for all 6 personas. Yeah, so now let's come back to our presentation. Okay, and as a result?
So why actually we are using employee journey? Because Employee journey actually gave us better understanding of specific employee journeys, and that can be improved further and create better employee experiences that will reflect in a company brand as well. Employee journeys also help us to identify moments that matter the most to employees, and that could be totally different that everyone is thinking about. And actually, it helps us to understand the employee, our end user, and deeper and in more ethnographic and quantitative and statistical way. And very often conclusions from empathic or user experience research are hard to express in quantitative language, but instead service design uses emotional language concerning aspirations, desires, engagement, experience, and challenges. That's why we call you to try using service design and employee journey in your practice, and we do believe you will have interesting findings here.
Yeah, it is the end of our second case. So feel free to join us in LinkedIn.
Thank you, Katya. Thank you, Anna. Looking at your pictures, it's hard to believe in some part of critics we have in the chat that there was not enough diversity in your personas. So the gender balance was not equal, but it's interesting that two ladies actually present the case from IT company. I like the way you actually moved the insights into visual materials, into text, etc. How did you manage to? Again, I'm pretty sure that when the company designs the website, different stakeholders want to see different things on the same web page. How helpful the insights were to convince them, and how did you manage to bring those insights?
Actually, websites, it's like responsibility of design and marketing, let's say, and design and marketing and HR, so it's like cross-functional team. So because it's not our, in this website, it's not our first case when we apply service design methodology from idea, from research, from true insights to implementation. So in this case, it was actually easy because we know the insights, we know personas, we know what is needed. So actually, in this case, we had not so much stakeholders, or if to rephrase, we had no conflicts with stakeholders because this method was proven, and our pilot project was with this rebranding and with this research was on B2B website, where we actually created the structure, we tested all these things, expectations from business, from so at that case it was really a lot of stakeholders. Yeah, and but when we see that our B2B website works, that it followed the plan, so all inputs were accumulated, and we did really the best solution on the B2C on the employee website. So we just use the same approach, let's say, of how we prioritize things based on who is actually stakeholders, are employee stakeholders or business, yeah, who has more power. So it was some kind of proven concept in this particular case.
Super, thank you. Dear audience, do you have more questions? Because I don't have mine for this case. It was quite logical and very well defined. Okay, I think this is the final moment of our first service design marathon. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for joining us every night or every morning, depending from where you are. That was great. That was great to see new people tonight, and that was great. Katya, Anna, thank you for the final case. Thank you that you again expanded our experience as service designers and let us look into employee experience, a new topic. We are not saying that this is the end of the service design marathon. We believe we would find one way or another how to make it even longer and with more cases to the audience. But let us think a little bit about how to make the format working for the future. Again, thank you. Thank you for joining us. If you have an opportunity to visit Ukraine when the travel is allowed again, you are welcome. We are quite open country with visa-free entry for most internationalities. So it's easy, and we will be happy to meet you in Kiev or in Lviv whenever you come. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks.